Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are all doing well on this Wednesday afternoon. So we got a couple of different things happening here. The American 777, well, she's delayed. Not leaving until 6:42. Air France, another hour after, not leaving until 7:42. So a little bit of a couple of delays here this evening. I'll turn our stabilization back on. I did. Hold on. Still have WestJet. WestJet, about 10 minutes or so for WestJet. That E175 coming to a complete stop. First one was an A319 coming into the D19. Hey, Ramona. Again, good evening, everybody. Hope you all have had a wonderful start to your week. Been fairly decent for us here at the show. So we do have WestJet here in just a little bit. The American that just touched down that we saw touching down, that was American Airlines 2693 coming in from Dallas Fort Worth. That was our MAX 8. So this is episode number 2 of the show where we mentioned the American Airlines and the MAX. Again, it's not often that we mention the MAX for American Airlines. WestJet 1282, now 12 minutes away. Coming in from Calgary. Got an inbound heavy here in about an hour or so. 30 minutes. 30 minutes even. FedEx 785 coming in from Memphis, Tennessee. That's a pretty long flight. About an hour and a half from here to Memphis. But again, both of our 777s delayed upon departure this evening. We got a little time here. Iceland looks like they're on time. Ice 821 coming in from Reykjavik. They're bringing the MAX 9 tonight. Nice, Jay. A lot of traffic up around JFK. LaGuardia for us, of course. So, as you guys can see, we are on the 05s tonight. It's not going to be too much in the way of that. As you guys know, Hurricane Aaron is off the coast of North Carolina. It's not causing us any problems, but the winds from Hurricane Aaron coming out of the north, putting everybody coming in on the south end of the airport here today. I know we all prefer the 2-3s, but unfortunately today, and of course it is that time of year as well where we don't catch the 2-3s too often. Alright, just finishing off a couple of things here. I actually got here surprisingly early today. No real traffic issues this afternoon coming over here. It was very busy, a lot busier than normal, but I didn't have any issues getting here. Sorry, I had to make the adjustment there to the tripod. This is going to be PSA headed back to Washington, D.C. We're going to be heading back via Ronald Reagan. Walter, good evening. Again, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's had a wonderful start to their week. So again, this is PSA. They're headed to Washington via Ronald Reagan. They're on the Potomac. Apologies, making a quick adjustment there. Put the tripod over a little farther than what we wanted. So again, PSA off to DC via Reagan. You can see they're doing a little bit of work here to the 777. Again, not a whole lot of things happening with the 777 due to the fact that it's not leaving until 6:42. So they should start buttoning it up here before too long. Now Air France not leaving until 7:42. Oops. Man, I can't wait for us to get our new tripod. Boy, oh boy. Alright, so let's zoom in. We should have WestJet here shortly. So if you guys were wondering, that was PSA 5404 headed to Reagan. WestJet right at us. Looking right at us. WestJet making that right bank right there. So WestJet from Calgary. We'll check out WestJet when they get a little closer. Are we done pulling bags off of Delta? Not yet. Still got a couple bags to work with here, it looks like. Pretty big duffel bag. I need to start watching all of the bags that come off of these planes so that I know what size bag I can take. If we take the show on the road, get us a couple of cases, and so we'll be able to fly. I still have to get my my real ID or my passport. Still got to work on that. Miss Carolina went through it pretty quick and easy yesterday, getting her new ID. Brian Lloyd, good afternoon. And that lens is jumping around quite a bit, ain't it? Interesting. camera's not really moving. So let's hope that WestJet comes on this side. I think last week they came, well, it wasn't last week, the week before they came in over on the other side. We might be able to catch a couple of Southwest here tonight. We're pretty far down on the parking garage here. WestJet still have yet to make their turn. Do that. So it looks like we're going to have American Airlines 1441 coming in from Philadelphia, another normal Wednesday night flight. Sorry. So WestJet making that turn. There is a Beechcraft G58 Baron out there that they're going to contend with. But so that Baron will come 5 right. So that means WestJet should come 5 left. Now WestJet is 737-8 today. Last week, I think or the Wednesday before, I believe it was a 700. So we got a couple minutes here before we get some more action here. I was looking at Flight Radar. Oh, well, they lied to us. Interesting. Maybe I've got them backwards. But either way, I'll have to look at Flight Radar here in just a second. As you guys can see, Air France and that 777 pushing back. Well, she's sick. Okay, so she's on time now. London is 6:42. So whatever happened with Air France here, they got it taken care of, because here on my list it said it wasn't going to leave until 7:42. So they are now officially leaving on time. The American 777 still says it's 6:42. Supposed to have left at 6:20, so they're going to be about 20 minutes late. Eddie, good evening. So luckily, we're not going to miss. Well, we wouldn't have missed it anyway unless it was well after 11 o'clock, but they're good to see it back on time anyway. Hey, ERB. So there we go. Air France on time. WestJet finally barreling down on us here. We'll swing to them. Anything exciting? Not really. We do the American 777's got the special sticker on the left side. This, I think it's the 70 something. I can't remember what sticker it is. But the 777's got one, and other than that, not really anything particular right now. Again, Air France, that 777 getting out of here in a minute. we don't step on any of our cabling here. So WestJet from Calgary, about 4 hours of flight time here. They're all gonna... I almost got it. I'm standing a little too far over. Haven't practiced my shots. Nelia, good evening. It's going to be a nice, quiet, calm evening here tonight. Clouds variable, of course. Alright, next arrival we have is going to be that American Airlines 1441 coming in from Philadelphia. It's going to be our A319-100. Air France getting a move on here. We'll follow WestJet up for a moment here while we wait on American. Taxiway still closed over there. I need to throw out some messages and find out what all is going on around the airport. So we turn from WestJet back over to American. The A319 from Philadelphia. 53 minutes of flight time for the A319 here. Resistance in our old tripod. Christopher Brown with a $4.99 super chat. Chat moved on me. Happy Wednesday. Here's to a great midweek stream. Good way to unwind after a long day. For a flat rate. Yeah, absolutely. Good to come out to the airport after a long day of flat rate work. Kind of unwind the mind. Thank you, Christopher Brown. I appreciate that. So, Air France is speeding out of here like she's late. She's actually leaving on time. She's actually leaving early, to be honest. So, Air France has some time here. No movement or action at our 777, the American 777, I should say. Next arrival is going to be Frontier. No. Oh, we got a Southwest. Southwest 1901 coming in from Atlanta, Georgia, 737 MAX 8. Going to be our next arrival here. 57 minutes of flight time for the MAX. So a little surprise Southwest action over here this evening. Hey, Robbie. Nice surprise, Southwest MAX 8. All right, enjoy the 777 departure. So this one here, Frontier, hold on. Frontier 1554 coming in from Orlando. This is Emmett, the gold-cheeked something. Cuts it off. For that touchdown between the buildings there, but we didn't get it. Southwest already up the hill there. Southwest already behind the trees. So we'll check out Emmett here. Again, good evening, everybody. Make sure you guys smash that like button. I got a like goal of 200 today. A little ambitious, but we'll see how it goes. Wednesdays have been pretty decent. I think we could hit 200 likes today. And thank you guys once again for getting us over 6K on Sunday. I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing to the show. So we're watching our next arrival already. We've got American Airlines 1904 coming in from Charlotte. So far, 27 minutes of flight time. There, it says 5 minutes, but they're right on top of us here. Not even close to 5 minutes. I don't know. Flight radar's bugging out. Looks like we got some tractor action happening out there on the runway. Not on the runway, but next to it. Looks like they're mowing the lawn. Oops. So we do have that FedEx 767 arrival here shortly. Coming in from Memphis. It's FedEx 785 from Memphis, Tennessee. Come on, will you do it? Will you touch down between the buildings? Before we got started here, everybody that was touching down between them. Nope. All right, so what is... That's a bird. Hey, Luca. Joshua Leclerc. Again, good evening, everybody. As you can see, the American 777 is still here. They're going to be hanging out for another 20 minutes or so. So you can see the John Deere over there cutting the grass as we have this Delta. FedEx at 767. Where are you at? The cloud cover is not that heavy. Why? Oh, it's already past me. I was looking in the wrong spot. So it looks like our next arrival, though, is going to be Delta 508 coming in from Los Angeles. So they're going to be coming in from LA. So we have this Delta. And the American over there, that was American 1904 coming in from Charlotte. Again, about 28 minutes of flight time. Man, they let the grass grow up tall over there. Hey, and another thing, we are up high enough. If you guys are interested in a little bit of an update here, a runway update, they got a nice big flat spot right here. That's about it. Nothing else, really. One little bit of a flat spot there. No, Captain Overspeed, we are up on the parking garage. Better sight lines for doing a show up here on the parking garage. Thank you, John. Golden cheeked warbler. It cuts it off on my end, and I don't always have time to click on it. We got George the Stellar Seal coming back from Detroit tonight. Seen a lot of George over the last 2 weeks. Fell. Tripping over the tripod leg, I almost fell on my butt. So that A319 rolling. Let's check out where they're going. Let's go back over here to the grass for a minute. Alright, so Delta 1275, they're headed to Tampa, Florida. Getting out of here, that A319-100. Next arrival is going to be Delta 508 coming in from Los Angeles. Miss Carolina left her car open and we've got stuff blowing around. Miss Carolina stopping by after being at the hospital for the last couple of days. see me. Should probably go home and fall asleep. We do have the MD-11 as well later tonight, probably around 9:15, 9:30, that departure. I don't know if somebody was asking about the MD-11, but we do have the MD-11 tonight. That'll probably be the plane that we end on. That'll be around Iceland's departure. Hopefully we don't have any fall off like we did last time we were here on Wednesday. As you guys know, around the 8 o'clock hour it tends to slow down. It seems like Wednesdays have really slowed down quite a bit, to be honest. There we go. Man, I wasn't in the right position for it either. I almost completely lost that shot because I wasn't standing right. So Delta from Los Angeles. Now expected to leave at 6:57. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot happening with it. And they're not changing out a wiper tonight, so I don't know what their deal is. Next arrival is going to be FedEx 785 coming in from Memphis, Tennessee. Going to be our next arrival. That's 767-300, arriving heavy. Hey, you should get off this. All right, FedEx 785. That's 767-300. Enjoy the sound of the 767s. Their engines sound so good on the 76s. So FedEx will go full length. They'll go all the way down there, get to their terminal. I like that, Ramona. Ramona throwing up the boxes for FedEx. Improvise on some of the emojis. All right, we do have another arrival already. They're coming at us pretty good here. United 1322 coming in from Washington, D.C. via Dulles. It's going to be an A319-100, our next arrival here. "39 minutes of flight time." You know, I passed by there the other day, Justin, headed to the hospital there in Durham, and I had forgotten all about the GE plant here. Do we have a bird beak? I believe we do. We've got our A319 bird beak. Somebody asked the other day if it was only the 737s, and it is not. As you can see, the A319 rolling in here with a bird beak. I think it looks cooler on the 737 though, with the way their windows are. Alright, we got one ready to go already. Somebody's sitting over here waiting. Got a Delta Connection E175. Justin got the membership there from Miss Carolina. Thank you to Mrs. Carolina. Congratulations, Justin, on the membership. We're going to have 5 to give out toward the end of the month. Labor Day weekend, we'll be gifting out those last 5 Carolina Aviation memberships. This was an E175, didn't I? A319, I apologize. I don't know why I was thinking it was an E175. So my bad. I was wrong. It took me a minute to realize what I said, as you guys can probably tell. Anyway, the A319 out of here. We'll figure out where they're headed in just a moment. So we've already got another arrival here. We'll talk about Delta in just a minute. We got Republic Airways 4514 coming in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 1 hour, 2 minutes of flight time for this E175. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and take the filter off the camera. Eagle touches down. Let me pull our lens filter there. So it looks like a couple of United here. We've got that A319 with the bird beak on it. We might see that one here in just a minute. Around the corner, we've got another United ready to pop out. Delta, that A319 departure, Delta 967, they're headed to Detroit, Michigan. And our next arrival is going to be Republic Airways 4487. This one coming in from LaGuardia, New York. 1 hour, 26 minutes of flight time. This one's going to be another E175LR. With United here, we'll skip out on the E175. We do have another arrival after the E175. It's going to be JetBlue 2783 coming in from Boston, Mass. 1 hour, 31 minutes of flight time for that one. guys a little bit of a United Marshal shot here. It's not often we see United. I thought he was about to pull right on in there without anybody to marshal him in. He pulled quite significantly far up into the gate. Next arrival is going to be JetBlue 2783 coming in from Boston. It's going to be an A220-300. So good to see our first A220 of the evening. Not painted up in their new livery, unfortunately. Still an A220 nonetheless. A220 coming in noisy fashion there. Giving us a little howl. This A220 makes its way back here, but we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not sure. I believe JetBlue has moved the gates. Again, I've got to send a friend of ours a message. To find out what the deal is, but it does look like all of JetBlue's equipment is over here. So, let's check. Well, we do have the American Eagle E175 ready to roll to the gate over here. We'll pick up the A220 again if they make their way around here. Right here we have the American Eagle from LaGuardia. Looks like we've got a United ready to go. Well, maybe. And this is a really dirty plane. This United here, probably one of the dirtier Uniteds I've ever seen. Thank you, Brian Lloyd, for the update. 112 likes. We're halfway to our like goal already. Thank you guys for smashing that like button this evening. Make sure you continue to smash the like button. We do still have our American 777 due out in about 10 minutes or so here. So we got about 10 minutes for the 777. Of course, American Eagle having issues over here. They're never ready to go, it seems like. Seems like they struggle with that. Oh, I see a little bit of movement down here at the 777. Not ready to go, of course, but it looks like they're closing doors and things. For this, well, we've got a Delta ready to roll here. We'll get to that United in just a minute. That dirty United, one of the dirtier ones we've seen. Hey, Will, good evening. Delta's headed in just a minute. JetBlue did not make its way around here, at least not yet. The American 777 packed up and getting ready to go. Still got the jetway attached there. That 737 headed to Atlanta, Delta 2600 headed to Atlanta, Georgia. 737-900. So I'll show you what I was talking about the really dirty United. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it on camera. Looks like it's got a big spot on the side of it right there. Dirty United. They need to take that one in for a detail. Clean that one up. Probably losing some money with this dirty plane right here, if I had to guess. The cleaner they are, the easier they fly through the air. So a dirty United. Alright, so there is some movement here at the 777. They've got wheel chocks removed. Waiting on the jetway to be removed. Push back anytime. Got another Delta headed to the end of the runway there. So again, good evening everybody. Once again, if you guys haven't liked the show yet, please do so. Also, if you're new, subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. It's a free way to help the channel. Speaking of which, I wanted to we're up to 22 on the subscriber count, by the way. everybody. Miss Carolina leaving the deck here. Just gonna head home. Been a long couple of days. So she's been, so her dad is in the hospital. So her and her mom have been rotating days here. Today's one of the days that she's headed home, so she thought she would stop in and bring me some Del Taco before she heads to the house. Make another quick adjustment. So now I can say we have a Delta E175, because that's exactly what this one is. I made that mistake earlier with that A319. This one's not very clean either, is it? But it's definitely nowhere near as bad as the United over there. Got the Delta 737 ready to go. So again, thank you guys for getting us over 6,000 subscribers on Sunday. I appreciate you guys. Now we roll on to the next 1,000. So we just had a Delta 737 leave to Atlanta. I wonder where this one's going. This one might be headed to Salt Lake City. Ooh, they got some back to the planes in a minute. I want to know what they're using this for. Here we go again with the big work. Oh, I bet they're doing it because they're working on the taxiway right there, just beyond there. So a lot of construction options happening here at the airport. They even got a big, coming, a couple of them coming. So I think they're working on the uphill taxiway. They're the one closest to us, but here comes the parade of the big dump trucks. Last time we saw this, it was devastating to the show. Today, they're not going to affect us. Here today, they're working on that taxiway up there. That's a big excavator. Alright, still no movement out of the 777. They're getting ready to, though. They are hopping on the tug here, so it shouldn't be too much longer for the 777. No worries, John Southwell. We'll see you when you get back. So Delta, that is Delta 2496. They are headed to Salt Lake City. It's our E175 175 is going to trade places with that little CRJ right there. All right, let's have a look. Flight radar one more time here. Looks like we've got a lot coming in. Iceland, that's the one I'm looking for. Ice 821 coming in from Reykjavik. 737 Max 9. Arriving in about 23 minutes. They're getting ready to cross into North Carolina here in just a minute. Got another A220-300 JetBlue 285 coming from JFK this time. So a couple of A220s tonight. Looks like our next arrival might be Delta 3246, another Atlanta flight. There goes the jetway for the American. So the 777 should push here anytime now. Gate D20. Air France had a little bit of a delay. They were supposed to be delayed an hour today, but they got out of here just in time. The flight radar is saying they weren't going to get out of here until 7:42, but they've already made their way out of here, thank goodness. There we go, jetway moving completely. They're going to have to get that CRJ out of the way. So Delta going to have to move here in a minute, but we're going to have a lot of movements here. We've got an A319 back here in the alleyway getting ready to be pushed back. So a lot of things about to happen here in a moment. That's what the Delta CRJ is waiting for. They're waiting for that A319. See you, ERB. Have a good evening. No, we don't have any specials today. This one has the special sticker on the other side, by the way. So this 777 with the special sticker on the other side. We'll see it momentarily as it taxis out to the gate here. Here comes our CRJ. I guess they're going to allow them to go ahead and come back here. They're going to turn around. So they're waiting for a gate, maybe. Over on the other side, possibly. We've got a United up there. Ready to go. We've got two Uniteds, one Delta. 777 going to be our next to push. have anybody push back or start engines here, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the sounds of the Trents. We do have that Delta from Atlanta about to touch down here in about a minute and a half. So enjoy the 777 Star. Folks watching, make sure you guys smash the like button here before the 777 departure. Again, we're trying to get to 200. You guys will get us really, really close. If you haven't yet smashed the like button, please go ahead and do so. Subscribe if you're new as well. It's free to do. Come back, watch anytime you like. So much, Everett, as always, for the continued support. We do have that A319 down here getting ready to start engines, hopefully, and that won't mess up any of our 777. Sounds for you guys, trying to keep it cranked up so you guys can enjoy those Trent 800s. Now, he's already started that A319, he's already gone. Didn't make hardly any noise. Normally, if it was Frontier, they'd be making all kinds of noise. So I don't think we'll see our Al Blackman sticker again. You can kind of see it there just above and below the wingtip of the 777. Josh, good evening. Our dirty United getting out of here. You heard me talk about that dirty. Oh, they didn't start the A319. They're just towing him over to a gate. All right. So let's continue to enjoy the sounds as we wait for the 777's departure. So the first United departure, that was United 1769. They're headed to SFO. That was 737 MAX 9 on the clean United. The other one hasn't popped up on flight radar yet. I'm sure it will here in a moment. Iceland directly in front of us on the downwind. So we're going to have an Ice 821 from Reykjavik in a minute. United 2645 headed to Newark, New Jersey. Got Delta 2782 coming in from Boston, Mass. It's going to be another A220-300. So we're going to have 3 A220-300s over here. So we have that JetBlue coming from Boston as well. Crank it up one more time. Now that A319's out of here, enjoy. continue to keep my mic muted until the CRJ calms down. Endeavor 5232 coming in from LaGuardia. This is going to be a Delta Connection CRJ 900 LR. I believe that's going to be followed by Iceland. It is. Followed by Iceland from Reykjavik tonight. Have a good evening. See you later. Oops. Very late for Nelly over there. So it looks like we'll have a couple of CRJs back here with us in a minute. Still waiting. Their marshalers to come in. Looks like American's going to take a break or make a break for it. Looks like they're going to try to get out of here before Iceland. The Aviation, good evening. Again, good evening, everybody. Hey, Sue Major. Good evening, nice to see you. So Ice 821 going to be our next arrival again from Reykjavik. So we'll follow this one until we reach the wall of the terminal there, and then we'll follow Iceland. 737 MAX 9 coming in. 6 hours, 6 minutes of flight time for Iceland. Favorite one to see in person, we'll go with that. Okay, so my favorite one to see in person is the A380. I do love the A220s, the A350, the 777, 747. So probably my favorite two to see in person is the A380 and the 747. So we see those whenever we happen up to DC. So Kevin Kelly, I'm going to stay for the MD-11 departure tonight around 9:17. Don't know if we'll stay for any of the FedExes. That depends on how busy we are, or how busy the airport is. Let's turn back to Iceland. Iceland more important than that Delta. I did. I saw that the A340 was coming in yesterday. Unfortunately for us on the weekdays, Lufthansa's out of here before we get here usually. So that's supposed to be a permanent deal sometime over the winter. We'll see more of the A340 over the course of the winter. Are we ready to marshal now? they get this one in, and the other CRJ is ready to come in. All right, so marshaller's ready to go. So now we've got two CRJs back here. So I'm going to try to continue to give you guys flight information here. Our next arrival is going to be Frontier 3313. So it's hard for me to talk over these CRJs, even when we bring the mic down. It's a little bit better. Turn the volume back up in just a minute. It's just, like I said, it's hard for me to talk over them because I can hear both microphones, and I don't know, can't tell if you guys are hearing me equally as good as you're hearing the CRJs. Nice. A340 is your favorite? I like the A340. I really wish Lufthansa, though, would bring the A350. There we go, a little 2-for-1 action there. Thomas, good evening. So he's a Falcon of some sort. A320 1neo running those Pratt & Whitneys, sounding like an A220 touching down there. So we got a couple of CRJs making a big racket. Anybody want to be nosy? Oh, we're getting ready to marshal one in. Hold on. There we go. Finally ready to get this one in here. On top of it over here on this gate, they're ready to go. Ready to get this CRJ in here. Next arrival is going to be Republic Airways 4425 coming in from Washington, D.C. via Reagan. So there we go. The CRJs stopped. Both of them will shut down here in just a moment. Give my ears a break. All right, on to Republic Airways from DCA. 44 minutes flight time for this E175 for American Eagle. So Iceland didn't make it around to the corner gate. There's a United Express sitting in that gate, oddly. Not sure exactly why that Delta Express is sitting over there. Make a quick change to our lighting system here. See here those signature Pratt & Whitneys with the aqua band inside the casing. These don't tend to howl as much as the A220. It's different style engine, but they do howl just a little bit. Speaking of A220s, JetBlue 285 coming in from JFK, going to be a A220 here. An A220 300. So this will be our second JetBlue A220 here on the ground. We also have the Delta A220 300. Normally it's a 100 this late in the evening from Boston. But, sending us a 300 tonight. Oops. We need to make some more pilot friends here on the channel. little golden hour being shed down on our A220 down here. Little lawn mowing happening in the background there. Big John Deere tractor. Dang, he made it all the way down there. I didn't even pay any attention to where he went after he left our end, and now we can see he's all the way down at that end of the runway. 162 likes. Thank you, Brian Lloyd, for the update. Getting closer to our 200 like goal for tonight. So make sure if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please do so. Was about to push back. That A319 right here. There is what Frontier is waiting for. The other A321 to push back. The sun is just above these clouds here, right at the top of your screen. Looks like Mother Nature is going to put on a little bit of a show here for us this evening. If we're able to see the sunset, I'll be able to give you guys our sunset segment. Let's see, we've got about a little less than an hour now for sunset. Man, I've always wanted to go down to that boneyard. I just haven't done it. I think that'd be a cool place to go. There's that other place here in North Carolina where you can go see the old, is it a Northwest 747? Sitting out at that place. I don't think you can actually, you're actually allowed out there, but you can drive by and see the tail if I'm not mistaken. Catering truck over here at the CRJ. Now that I'm actually noticing it, you know, we talked about it a week or two ago. It's like, I've never seen that before. Now it seems to be a little bit more of a popular thing here, as we've got an American Eagle pushing back over here on the other side. Presumably Republic Airways is going to switch places with that other one sitting just behind it. Got Southwest 2296 going to be our next arrival, but I think they're going to go to the right side. It's going to be a 737 MAX. They're coming in from Dallas Loves Field. Got one departing behind us. Is that Jet? next arrival on our side is going to be Republic Airways 4804 coming in from JFK. We might have the FedEx feeder arrive on our side since Southwest is coming in for the right side. So we do have Mountain Air Cargo 7503 FedEx feeder coming in from New Bern. That is an ATR 72600. One of two that we might possibly see here tonight, but I think we'll only see the one. They tend to split the airport. If you guys have been watching the show long enough to know, you know. One will land on one side, one will land on the other. So we got a couple of minutes for that one. Still got an A319 sitting over here for American Airlines. I think that one's going to go back to Philadelphia. So we're going to find out what the ATR decides to do here. It does look like the ATR is going to go the backside anyway. Dang it. We were really hoping for an ATR arrival on our side. Possibility we won't see either one of the ATRs tonight. Looks like that checkered line down there is freshly painted. It's very vibrant. I noticed it when I first got here. It looks like they just painted that one up. Got a clear view of the windsock. It's not very windy here this evening. So we got a Delta entering the picture as well. This is going to be Endeavor 5150 from JFK. 1 hour, 14 minutes of flight time. We're going to figure out where that one's headed in just a minute, as the ATR makes its way over to the other side. So they're going to pull this E175 a little farther out so that that other one can get in, I believe. Maybe. So depending on which side Delta decides to take, I think Delta's going to come to our side here. I was thinking maybe we would get Southwest, our second surprise Southwest of the night. And it doesn't feel like it's almost 8 o'clock, does it? Yeah, the ATR is lined up for the other side. We can try to grab that shot. Let's see if we can grab a kind of head-on shot of the ATR here. Coming in on the other side. I know we really need them to be back on the 2-3s before too long. This is... I thought we were going to have a change last Sunday, so we set up like they were going to be on the 05s. It didn't change. So there's our FedEx ATR from New Bern. Got Frontier Airlines headed to the end of the runway. So perfect timing for our ATR to disappear as Frontier turns to the runway. So another A321neo. I really wish they would get the masked neos. The newer ones. Figure out where Frontier's headed in just a minute. So pick them back over here. Got an A319 that American A319. I believe this one's getting ready to head back to Philadelphia. So, Delta or Endeavor landing 2-3 or 5 right, excuse me. And it looks like we're going to get southwest from Dallas over here on our side. Frontier 1039 headed to Orlando, 737 and 200 neo. Emmett the golden cheeked warbler on board of that one. Looks like the A319 might go for it here. Southwest coming in from Dallas. Got a United A319 about to start up back here. That's what you guys are hearing right now. So let's take a look at Southwest. Southwest 2296, again coming in from Dallas. 2 hours 19 minutes of flight time for that MAX 9. There's a possibility, Thomas. We're waiting until we get a little bit bigger before we go long distances. We do tend to go to Charlotte. We do tend to go up to Washington Dulles. But as of right now, coming to New York, I don't have any plans to as of right now. You can see it's brightening up. The sun's coming down below some of the major cloud coverage we've got going on here. the United A319. Rolling out of here. That American A319, American 1441, headed back to Philadelphia. That is our bird beak livery there. The one with the different nose on board. Alright, we're going to zoom out right here. I've got to do something really quick. So next arrivals Republic Airways 4804, coming in from JFK, New York. Man, we got some great lighting here right now. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of it. So a lot of golden hour shots here in just a moment, some sunset shots. Switch what monitor I'm looking at here. Got a couple sitting out here waiting to go. United and the American. Good looking lighting there on the E175 for American Eagle. Okay, good evening. So if the opportunity comes, we will have our sunset segment. If you guys don't know what that is, we sit and watch quietly, peacefully, the last few minutes of the sun as it goes down below the horizon there. United, our bird beak, gets a move on here. Republic Airways 4742 headed back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That was that E175 departure there. As our A319 gets out of here. Rotation for that A319. Definitely love to see the RDU so busy. Wednesday seems to have slowed down just a small amount there. So United 689 headed back to Washington Dulles. Hey, there she is. Holy cow, Molly, what is up? Thought Molly was mad at us or she quit the channel or something. She's been gone so long. We're not going to get the sunset below the horizon there. There is some clouds. We can take a minute here and enjoy the what we got here this evening. So enjoy the sounds of the airport and a little sunset. Ulysses, I don't know. Hey everyone, so this is my new home. Very nice. Move to Raleigh. Welcome to Raleigh. Welcome to the show. Hey, there we go. WestJet headed to Calgary. All right, let's enjoy the rest of our sunset shot here. Sorry to interrupt. So again, if you guys are new here, normally we do like to watch the sunset go below the horizon here. Unfortunately, you can see that little bit of a cloud layer right here. You can see the trees. So right here is the horizon, as you can see. So no going below the horizon here tonight, unfortunately. So better luck next Wednesday. Seems like the last few Wednesdays have been cloudy. WestJet about to pop out from behind the terminal there. So WestJet will head back to Calgary. 737-800 for them. So again, if you guys are new here, please subscribe. It's free, helps the channel. And don't be afraid to say hello. Try to greet each and every one of you guys as best as we can. Sometimes I'm a little slow to the chat. You guys got to forgive me there. Working the camera and the chat at the same time. Some days are worse than others. So welcome to all the newcomers. Again, thank you guys for getting us over 6,000 on Sunday. So we got our American A321 about to roll out of here. I'm going to assume this is American 1904, headed it back to Charlotte. Even if it's not 1904, it is headed back to Charlotte, I'm sure. It's not up on my radar just yet. And I figured you were busy, Molly, with school and all. So I sent you a message the other night asking if you watched the first parade there in Disney on Friday. The first Halloween parade, party, whatever it is. Good to see you once again as well. Miss Carolina loving the sunset. This is, I always say that wrong, don't I? Oh well. More heavy equipment entering the airfield, it looks like. Again, they're working on the taxiway closest to us that runs between Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. So they are hanging on and doing that. Blick Fang, good evening as well. It's our A321 for American Airlines rolls. Again, I hope everybody's had a wonderful start to their week. Mine's not been too bad. The Lime gifted a Carolina Aviation membership from Mrs. Carolina. That's 2 gifted memberships from Mrs. Carolina tonight. Thank you to her. Congratulations to those who received those memberships. We'll gift out our last 5 of August coming up. We'll do that on Labor Day weekend. Do that on the 31st, the last Sunday, also the last day of the month. So that A321 out of here. WestJet up next. Again, WestJet headed back to Calgary. Let's find out where American's rolling off to. American 1894. They are headed to Charlotte. As our masked 737 rolls out of here back to Canada. See it. Don't know that I'll be able to see it with the camera. Whoops. Sorry, WestJet. Keep getting the tripod hung up on our shirt. So again, they're off to Calgary. So WestJet is, if you guys don't know, WestJet, a Canadian airline there. One of my co-workers, you see him every once in a while here in the chat. We were talking about the Air Canada strike the other day, and he said his wife just made it home before all of that happened. He said she came home like the day before, I think he said, a couple days before the Air Canada strike there. I think he said she went to London. She's from Canada, I believe. So if Ed's watching, what's up, you guys? They got lucky with the strike there, Air Canada. So we got a CRJ sitting over here waiting for a gate. And then we have, so that means we've got one that should be ready to push back. Looks like they're pulling D10 away from one of our CRJs. So we still have Iceland left to go for departure tonight. Also, if you guys are new to the channel and unfamiliar with Wednesday nights, we also stay for the UPS MD-11 departure. Mother Nature's still putting on quite the show. So we will be here for the MD-11 departure in just about an hour, a little more than an hour here. 8 o'clock is kind of a cool down period here. We've we've got a couple. We've got a Breeze Moxie 745 coming in from Portland. 1 hour 35 minutes of flight time. An A220 300. Hopefully, we'll get that one over here. We also have a Southwest coming in right behind them, coming from Bewee. Southwest 1892. Going to be just behind us. We have one more FedEx ATR. This one, the ATR 42-300. This one coming in from Miss Ramona's town, Wilmington. Hey, speaking of Wilmington, Ramona, were you you weren't near that big explosion the other day, were you? Hopefully not. I saw a video of that explosion today. I guess it got released. Quite crazy. I don't know if you guys know about that explosion there in Wilmington. Saw it on the news yesterday. So we'll see what happens here with Mountain Air Cargo 7508, our second of 2 FedEx feeders today. Again, this one, the small one, this one, the 42-300. Again, Mother Nature putting on a good show here while we wait on planes to do their thing, make up their minds. Again, like I stated, we've got that CRJ sitting over there waiting. We've got an American Eagle E175 over there, waiting to go out. As a matter of fact, there they go. The ATR looks like it is going to go to the right-hand side. So no ATRs tonight, unfortunately. I heard they arrested somebody for that explosion. The guy did something to a gas line or hit it or did something. Did it on purpose. I don't know exactly what happened there. But a pretty big explosion, if I do say so. Every now and then I'll check on the news. I usually only see news in scrolling through like Instagram or whatnot. I don't particularly try to follow the news if I can help it. The news just depresses me. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but mainstream media and the news, it all just bothers me. So I don't particularly follow the news unless something major is going on in the world. And then I hear about it. So Republic Airways 4487 headed to LaGuardia. I do follow them though, I believe, on one of my social media, so I see some of the news that they post. Hey, there's Zoe. So Republic Airways off to LaGuardia. Our ATR about to touch down back here. So I'm hoping that with the ATR coming in behind us, that'll push the A220 around to our side. Speaking of A220s, it sounds like we've got one ready to go. We've got 3 over here on our side, all 3 300s. 190 likes. Thank you, Molly, for that update. 10 likes away from our goal. If any of you guys are interested in tonight's subscriber count, we started with 11. We're now up to 30. So thank you guys for subscribing to the channel this evening. 30 of you guys. 20 of you guys, excuse me. Subscribing to the channel. Yep, there's our A220. Not this one. We're going to stick with this one though for a second. See if we can't get some instrument cam here. So it does look like we're going to have Breeze there. A220-300 coming in to this side. So a little double A220 action here as JetBlue awaits to head back to Boston, I believe. I believe this is Boston came first, then the JFK flight. So this one getting ready to go. Sitting pretty in the golden hour. Less than golden hour. Now we're more or less getting into the blue hour. I stayed home on my birthday, Molly. I stayed home with the boys. We had that family emergency on Wednesday, so I took my birthday off and stayed home with the kiddos. We're gonna celebrate. The birthday in coming weeks. We had to push it back a little bit. All in all, was a good birthday. Nice and quiet. Kids decided to behave themselves. All right, so Moxie coming in from Portland, Maine. Another A220. One hour, 42 minutes of flight time for Moxie here. Pick up Breeze in just a minute. If let's see, is JetBlue gonna get a move on here? They are. So they chose this side because there was somebody, the ATR was too slow. So we've got Southwest landing over there on their side. So Breeze landing over here due to the ATR being too slow and in front of them. This runway was wide open. Thank you, Zoe. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello. So we definitely want to get that shot of Breeze heading up the hill, unless they're going to come all the way back here. I don't know that they're going to be allowed to go up the hill down at the opposite end of the parking garage. We'll find out here in just a moment. Breeze might actually have to come all the way down to this end. So you can see they're working on the taxiway between the two. So my birthday was last week. We were going to be here for it Wednesday. Unfortunately, like I said, I had a bit of a family emergency. And so we had to push back Wednesday's show to Sunday, our normal day. So not a big deal. There's our A220. So it is going to be able to head up the hill here. Even with all of the construction headed up the hill. And we got a CRJ back here. Mother Nature's still putting on one heck of a show here for everybody in Raleigh. Camera doesn't do that justice. It actually should be a little bit darker than that because those lines are absolutely sharp. So we get a little pilot cam here in on our CRJ pilots for Delta Airlines. Actually, I think they're for Endeavor. Let's get a quick look and see what we got. JetBlue 1484. They were headed back to Boston. So we've got Delta headed back to Boston a little later on. We've got Jazz Aviation 838 coming in from Toronto. Air Canada Express at E175 SU arriving in 15 minutes. We got another one coming in from Charlotte in 21 minutes. American Airlines 3178. George the Stellar Seal coming in from Detroit in about 15 minutes. Seen a lot of George the Stellar Seal here in the last couple of weeks. And again, we do still have Iceland's departure as well as the MD-11 departure here later on this evening. So the MD-11 departure should be here in about an hour. Give you guys a little nighttime marshalling here. Where'd he go? There he is. He's standing way back in there this time. Bring our CRJ in. Guys, check out what kind of show Mother Nature's putting on for us here tonight. So we got about 10 minutes for our next arrival here. 15 minutes according to flight radar. Can't ever trust flight radar, I don't think. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here with us on a Wednesday. Now becomes our calm period until the departures of Iceland and our MD-11 for the next few minutes. And then in about 15 minutes, again, everything will pick back up. Start getting a bunch of flights in here once again. Nice sunset here for us tonight. Let's see. We got any baggage drama? We haven't seen any baggage drama in quite some time. Usually it's Air Canada because it gives us the best drama for the bags. Only everybody else is pretty good about the bags. Not picking on Air Canada's crew. We've seen them drop a bag or two. I've seen everybody drop a bag or two. See Air Canada off to the northwest of us. They're heading right at us at the moment before they make their right-hand turn. Yeah, it's usually around 9:10 for Iceland. Hopefully they'll push on time, like in usually 8:30. What's the biggest bird? So we've had the A350, we've had the 747 400. We've had the 777-300, but it can't go to a gate. The 777-300 has to go to a different section in the airport. We've had, and we do get the A340. Air France was flying the A350 for a while. And then of course we have Air France and the American 777s right now. Then let's see, what else have we had? We've seen a lot of big planes. C-17s, C-130s, strata tankers. We've seen a lot of military stuff here as well. I'd really like to see a 747-800. But now, the 747 that we had, the 400, did make its way to the gate. We've seen cargo for Atlas. They've all been Atlas, other than Air Force One. We've called it Air Force One a couple of times, also Air Force Two. We caught them leaving back to back a year or so ago. It's hard to believe that's going to be, what, a year and a half since we saw that? I still can't believe we're getting close to our 2-year anniversary. That's coming up in September. We've got the we've had the 787, we've had 767s, we had a 76 today, also the 777 today, the MD-11, the A330. So we've had pretty much all of the big planes here. Whether or not they're the biggest variants of those planes is beside the point, but we have had some pretty big planes. We can't accept the 747-800 or the A380. The A380 is too wide. Our runways and stuff, taxiways are way too small for the A380. There we go. Finally, they're throwing down some bags here. I'm waiting for that. Again, we got a couple minutes here for Air Canada. I'm watching Air Canada now. They're just off to the west of the airport, getting ready to make their right-hand turn so they can be downwind of us here in just a minute. They're also followed by Frontier. So we've got those two arrivals. We've got about 3 or 4 arrivals coming from the south as well, Deltas. And of course the one from Charlotte. Talking about the we did have the Antonov here one time, but that was way before I moved here. So I've never seen the Antonovs. Somebody in chat, and I've talked to several people down at the observation deck that have lived here for a long time, talking about the Antonovs. They get that out in Kingston quite often. If you guys are familiar with the area, they get it out in Kingston quite often. Charlotte had the Antonov recently. Spring, late fall, late winter, spring, somewhere around in there. I don't remember what they were dropping off. Canada now straight downwind from us, so we'll see them in about I'm going to say 5 minutes. That's what flight radar says too. So the Antonov is a big cargo plane. It's a Russian cargo plane, and it's absolutely massive. Like I said, that was years and years ago. That was around 2011, 2012. Somebody said, I think. See, they dropped off a generator. That's right. That's what somebody else said. And Jay giving us a list: A330, 747, 7877, 767, the 350 here at RDU. Oh, is it Ukrainian? I thought it was Russian. What is the Russian one? Oh, that's right, because the other one was destroyed in the war. That's right. Never mind. My bad. Thank you, Pip, for corrections. I always know there's somebody in the chat who can correct what I'm talking about if I make a slip like that. They get it out at LAX quite often too. I know, I'm dreading the days that we get rid of the MD-11 for UPS. I'm sure they'll replace it with the, what is the one they bring? It's either a 767 or an A330. So we'll see. Ah, that's right, that's right. See, all kinds of fun facts here in the chat. So with the expansion of the airport, if you guys are new and don't know about the expansion, obviously I was showing you guys the runway and some of the progress that they're making on the runway over along the other side there. And hopefully with that expansion we'll be able to get some bigger and some more international flights as that gets finished up. Of course, they've got a long way to go. They did just start the runway this year, so I'm thinking we probably won't see the completion of the new runway before 2030. So as you guys can see, we got a Frontier moving over there. This is Holly, the Falcon. So that A321neo will get ready to depart here in just a few minutes. Air Canada is on final Jazz 383 coming from Toronto, Canada. It's going to be that E175 SU. Not sure where they'll go tonight. They might. They came back here in the alleyway the other night. We also have Air Canada, the actual Air Canada, not Jazz Aviation. We have Air Canada coming in from Vancouver, but that's way later. We probably won't see the Vancouver arrival. Yeah, they're still 1 hour away. Air Canada 1068, that 737 MAX 8. Yeah, here we go. So, we've got another Frontier coming in here in just a minute, right behind Air Canada, along with American from Charlotte. they're done offloading the bags. Are they getting their gate ready over here for Frontier? What are they doing? What's that? Oh, it's a work truck. Getting close to that 200 like mark, so if you guys haven't yet smashed the like button, please do so. We got about another hour or so left in the show. Again, we're going to try to end the show with the MD-11. Headed back to Worldport there in Louisville, Kentucky. We do already have 200. Somebody's not updating their thing. Mine doesn't automatically update, so it's not like it shows, it's not rolling like how it shows how many of you guys are watching. That constantly rolls and moves. We had over 200 folks watching tonight earlier, so thank you guys. Everybody coming in to check out the 777 departure. Possibly an A220. That could be our Neo. We're hearing over there. It looks more likely to be the Delta A220-300 headed back to Boston. So there's Air Canada from Toronto. Next arrival is going to be Frontier 4938 coming in. This is George the Stellar Seal. Once again, we've seen a lot of him lately. 1 hour, 12 minutes of flight time for that A321neo. They're coming in from Detroit. Diverting to RDU from LaGuardia, originally headed to Atlanta. Thank you, Molly, for the update. Looks like we've got a diversion coming in. Delta 964. So we'll be on the lookout for that one. Oh, take a picture from everything. All right, who's sneaking out of here? Frontier getting out of here. Thank you, Mom. What time is that departure, Kev? If it's after 10, probably not. I gotta be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, unfortunately, get to work. So we'll see. We'll see what the night brings. I have a little bit of leeway. Not a whole lot tonight. Again, Miss Carolina stopping by here on her way from the hospital. She wanted to see me. She didn't see me at all yesterday. So she's been back and forth from the hospital. Update your feed, Aviation. I think we did. I think we already did it. Yeah, I gotta be up early tomorrow too. This is a stunning shot right here with a little bit of light left behind at Frontier. Again, this one coming in from Detroit. George, the Stellar Seal. You're good, no worries. All right, so they're coming in from Detroit, Frontier 4938. We've got this A220 over here. We've got American Airlines 3178 coming in from Charlotte. So this A220. Thank you, Molly. The MD-11 departing at 9:23. So they're going to be a little bit behind as well. A couple of small delays here this evening. So it looks like Delta's A220 is going to wait a minute. Ew. 3 o'clock? No thanks. I can see 5. I went to bed a little early last night because the night before I didn't sleep very well. Couldn't sleep, didn't make it to bed till about 1 a.m. Woke up at 3. Went back to sleep for about an hour or 2. Woke up at 5. So I was miserable. Next day. This A321 coming in from Charlotte. So we switch back to Delta, the A220 over here. Oh man, I would love to sleep till 7. Some mornings I do, but if I, here lately, now that school has started back, if I leave at 7, it takes me 30 minutes to get to work. I did that today. I left at 7, it took me a half an hour to go 5 miles. So, it's absolutely insane. So it's like, and then of course if I leave any later than that, man, it takes even longer. So Delta off to Boston. Yeah, Matt, Eric, you're at the airport getting ready for your flight longer than you're in the air for the actual flight. But most of the time, though, that's just a connecting flight. It's like I always say when we talk about Charlotte. Charlotte's not a destination airport, really, per se. They have more people passing through there than they do coming in. things in the city of Charlotte. Charlotte Douglas International is busier than LAX, according to last year. So they beat out LAX for the 6th spot of busiest airports in the country. Let's see, are we going to have either one of these CRJs move? I keep hitting the brake lights on this one, but it looks like it's still connected. Here, another A220, the other JetBlue, I believe. That one's going to head back to JFK. Thank you, Molly, for that update. So, Delta 2393 headed back to Boston, that A220-300. Molly giving us the update. Delta 964 from LaGuardia is going to be our next arrival. They are supposed to be headed to Atlanta. So, diverting here. I know at one point we had the shortest wide-body flight a couple years ago. Delta Airlines flying their 767 between us and Atlanta over the holiday season a couple years ago. I read somewhere that was the shortest wide-body flight in the nation. As far as the actual shortest airline flight goes, I have no idea. I'd like to know, though. That'd be an interesting fact. I know you can fly out of Charlotte up to Asheville, which is a really short flight. It's a really expensive flight from here. Last time I checked, to fly from Raleigh to Asheville, North Carolina, which is in the mountains. If you guys don't know anything about North Carolina, it's about a 5-hour drive from here, but it's like a $600 flight. So you, last time I checked, it was about $600. And so what it is you leave Raleigh, you stop in Charlotte, you leave Charlotte, then you make your way to Asheville via American Airlines. So one of the more interesting flights. So again, this is Delta coming from LaGuardia. This one's supposed to be headed to Atlanta. Making a quick pit stop here. Some sort of something going on with them. We did see, how long was that flight? Well, no, it was still about 28 minutes. Sun Country came in from Wilmington a couple weeks ago. That one was a really short flight, but I still think it was about 30 minutes. So I'm just trying to think what short flights we have in and around the area here. Our Delta diversion safely in. Speaking of Delta, we got Delta 2992 going to be our next arrival here in about 2 minutes. Coming in from Miami, another A319. They're still out there mowing the grass. That's what you see right there. Got a CRJ down here in the alleyway. Fire and engines. We'll swing to this side and check out the CRJ while we wait for the arrival. we got a couple of A319s, Delta 2992 coming from Miami. We've got American Airlines 1888. That one's going to be an A321. They're coming from DFW. Then we've got Delta 1518 coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. That's going to be a 737-900. That one arriving in just 4 minutes. So we'll see how they decide they want to play this out here. If you're following along on Flight Radar, you'll see American and Delta possibly fighting over some airspace here. See my message about the DFW? I did. So DFW's really ranked up there really high. Of course, we know Atlanta's the busiest. As our CRJ gets out of here. We need to go back to Dulles. So again, this one, Delta 2992 from Miami. Nice touchdown there for the A319. Looks like our A220 getting ready to get a move on here. Blow that out there too much. It's an A220 hiding there in the dark. It's our JetBlue back to Boston. Yeah, I saw that, how it landed in somebody's front yard, landed in their driveway. You need to turn their ident lights on. Man, that bugs me. You can kind of make out that that's JetBlue. There's a little bit of light that they have. Alright, so Delta and American have situated everything. Looks like American 1888 from Dallas Fort Worth at A321. Going to be our next arrival, followed by Delta 1518 from Atlanta. CRJ going to cross there. They're going to go sit and wait in line. Should have Iceland's pushback here anytime. They're already running behind as usual. I prefer mornings. I like to get up and be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go, excited for a flight early in the morning. Afternoons aren't too bad, but I prefer morning flights. I do have to admit, the view at night is a little bit on the cooler side, seeing all the lights down below. When I came back from Fort Lauderdale. That was really cool. We flew out over the ocean for a majority of that flight, but seeing all of the coastline of Florida lit up was really, really cool on the way home. Ramona gifting one Carolina Aviation memberships. Carolyn Echoes. Sorry, I apologize if I mispronounce names. Carolyn gifted that membership. Terrible with names. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Thank you, Molly, for the update. Delta, that A321 diversion departing back to Atlanta at 10:25. A huge thank you to our good friend Ramona, gifting that membership. Thank you so much, Ramona. As always, we appreciate your support, Ramona, a good friend of the channel here. Make sure you guys go and check Ramona out here on YouTube, as well as Instagram, Facebook, whatever you guys may have. I haven't been out to DFW. I wouldn't mind doing a show out there. I think that would be kind of cool. I'd like to meet Walt. Walt's a nice guy. Of course, I've met our buddy Pip. Pip and I did back-to-back shows last year in Charlotte. I really want to do like Dallas Loves Field too. I like that location a lot. There on the parking garage, nice and close. So there's American from DFW. At some point we want to go down to Atlanta as well. I think Mrs. Carolina wants to go down there too. I know Ramona is headed to, just thinking about heading down there at some point. Little American Delta action here. We've got that Delta, or that JetBlue A220. Finally, they've turned their ident lights on, so you guys know that it's actually JetBlue. Hey, thank you, Molly. 20 months. Dang. Did you send a special thing for that? Did I miss it? I didn't know if you sent like the special chat thing or not. I don't know if anybody's ever really done that since I changed the software around, so I don't know if that shows up. It should. You're able to do a chat, like if you've been a member for a long time, you're able to do. We're gonna skip out on the A220. Look who's pushing back, late as usual. We love Iceland Air here. Some days they are late, some days they're not. So this MAX 9 will head back to Reykjavik, one of our favorite nighttime departures. Oh, see, it didn't show up, so I apologize, Molly, that it didn't do that. Or maybe I just missed it. Maybe I didn't scroll back far enough. Was it before or after Ramona's? Yeah, it's not showing up as a membership milestone or anything. Anyway. We'll put you up there. Oh, there it is. It is on this, but on my software it doesn't highlight it. That's weird. So thank you to Molly. Apologies that didn't show up in my chat there for some reason. It didn't make it look any different for whatever reason. Weird. It used to. See, we switch the software and it does more things and then it takes something away. I think this is one of the first times we've had a membership milestone since we had to change around the software. Alright, so Southwest coming in behind us. JetBlue off to JFK, I believe, or are they headed to Boston? They are. JetBlue 86. That A220-300 headed to JFK. We've got American Airlines 706 coming in from Philadelphia. 55 minutes of flight time. It's going to be an A319-100. That A319 going to follow Southwest over to the backside there. Thank you guys. 220 likes. You guys can hear that Mad Max 9 over there starting engines. You can hear Southwest touching down as well. Dang, first day of high school. Congratulations. I know, I do believe that's why all the traffic has gotten so high around the area in the last couple of days. All the schools here in the area starting back. So Iceland will be our last international departure. Molly gifting one Carolina Aviation membership. Thank you, Mom. And Oki gifted that membership. Congratulations to you. Thank you, Eddie. Coming up, when time change and everything happens, this show right here will solely be at night. Our Wednesday show will be, the whole thing will be at night, because here it'll be dark, almost dark by the time I get here, and definitely almost dark by the time we start the show around 6 o'clock here come winter time. So something we deal with in the wintertime, just doing all wintertime night shows on Wednesdays. I prefer day spotting, but you know, Sundays might bleed over into the dark, depending. I haven't done a sunrise show this year. Last year we did a sunrise show. Turned out pretty decent. Had that C-17 flying in front of the rising sun there. We need to do another sunrise show. So again, we're waiting on Iceland here, as you guys can see, and we're also waiting on our MD-11 departure. Says scheduled departure 8:23, usually, or 9:23, excuse me. Usually they come out. Here in the Triangle, no. No effects from the hurricane. It is a little breezy tonight. It is directly off the coast of North Carolina. I'm sure Ramona is getting some of the wind off of the storm. No rain though. We're getting a little bit of the wind. That's part of the reason why we're on the 05s now. So the wind is definitely affecting the direction of our flights. And of course, as I've told you guys, if we do get a hurricane and I'm able to be out here, we'll be out here for that. Typically, every year we typically try to do at least 1 or 2 episodes through some of the bigger storms that we get here. So, hey, Scott. Good evening. Scott was our very first watcher, by the way. I don't know if I think I said it over the weekend. Scott was is definitely our longest standing viewer. I know they evacuated the Outer Banks, from what I understand, because of all of the storm surge. Yeah, the winds have really got to be going in the right direction. I prefer them to be going, you know, obviously east to west. If they're going west to east, then it's pulling all of the rain in on top of us. So that makes it really, really difficult. But if the wind's blowing west or east to west, then we don't have to suffer too much with the rain on top of us here. I'm able to go down a floor and get you guys some shots. How many we got sitting over here? 1, 2, 3. 3 planes waiting for their departures. Again, waiting on that MD-11. Man, you know, we missed out on a snow show last year because the snow was so sporadic. If it snows, we'll do our best to come out here. I ain't scared of some snow. I do have the heated jacket, and I do have the heated snow, or not heated snow pants, but I do have the snow pants. It is a lot harder for me to do a show in the wintertime physically because it gets so cold. I've got hand warmers, I've got gloves, I've got whatever we possibly need, but it is quite difficult at night to do the shows. During the day, in the wintertime, it's really not too bad. But again, we play all of that by ear usually. Come on, MD-11, you are our last plane of the night. Really doesn't feel like 9 o'clock. Yeah, when it does snow here, it usually doesn't lay for very long. So last year we missed a couple of good snow episodes. It either snowed at night or it snowed while I was at work, and it just wasn't viable. I'm not afraid to drive in any weather, by the way. Driving in terrible weather scares me not a bit. I've done all types of driving. Do I do it the correct way? Absolutely. Not like some of these people, you know, the road's flooding and they're still doing the speed limit at 70 mile an hour down the highway. I will slow down. All right, have a good evening. Iceland is just taking its sweet time here to pop out. Boy, there's some big bugs out here on this parking garage. Creepy bugs. 8:59. Thank you, William. Come on, Iceland. Again, we got about one more departure here. It doesn't look like we're going to be too terribly busy. Looking at flight radar again. Iceland back to Reykjavik is going to be our last international departure. What makes an airport good for spotting? It depends on it depends on what you're into. 2, it depends on how many sight lines you have, right? So if you've got an airport with places with a lot of stuff blocking your view, obviously that's not good, right? So that airport's out of the question. Scott said planes. Now, each airport has its strong points, right? We go to Dulles. Dulles has all the internationals. We go to Charlotte. Charlotte has all the action. And they have internationals, but they are all American Airlines, right? So, and in here, it's kind of busy, but we have all of the variety here of all the different airlines, including some internationals. Obviously, as you can see, Iceland Air ready to go. But to me, an airport's got to have good sightline. And it's got to be busy. Like somebody asked me why I haven't ever went to Richmond, right? So Richmond, I think they have like 80 flights a day. It's hard to do a show. Now I'm talking from a show standpoint. I'll plane spot at any airport. I don't care about that, as long as it's got good sight lines. And it's somewhat busy, even some of the executive airports. But from a show standpoint, it's got to be busy. Got to have at least 180 flights a day, in my opinion, to be considered for a show. As we see Iceland back to Reykjavik. Also, you got to think about whether or not an airport's friendly or not. Some airports, friendly, will accept any plane spotters. Other airports, not so much. So you got to look at those kind of factors as well. I did see beacons down here, so our MD-11 possibly pushing back already. I don't see the beacon anymore, so apparently, assume it's moved. It is up on flight radar, and she has pushed back the MD-11. So like for me in plane spotting, again, for the show, is a little bit more difficult than just going to an airport and saying, hey, I'm plane spotting, right? Like, I could go down to the observation deck, but there are variables down there. The view's not great down there for a show standpoint. The vibration of the observation deck, also not ideal for doing the show. And it closes at dark. That's another significant factor why we don't do a show down there. But good sight lines, friendly. Depends on what kind of traffic you're looking for. Military, commercial, general aviation. Just depends on what you're looking for. For me personally, I enjoy the commercial stuff. I also do enjoy like the jets for the military stuff. What are we doing? What is happening here? I know they're not closing this runway. Did he drive across the runway? So confused. Somebody's APU starting. Alright, any second now we should see the MD-11 come around there. I hear it already. I know you guys are hearing the APU, but maybe that's just the APU. Alright, MD-11. Question, will the MD-11 be a rocket launch tonight? Let's hope so. Gotta wait on her to get down here. Yeah, I absolutely love going up to Dulles. Dulles is one of my favorite airports. Dulles has always been really welcoming for us. Like, I've never had any issues with anybody at Dulles. I've only ever had a couple of issues here at RDU. Most of the time they don't bother us here. But we have had our issues. We've had to get some proper paperwork and stuff in place to be here. Usually it's always a misunderstanding when they come up and say anything. And now I've had a couple of officers come up and visit me several times. So now they're like, oh, okay, never mind. We got a call, we got to come check it out anyway. We figured it was you, you know, stuff like that. So, come on, MD-11, what are you doing? There's a good possibility. Is it going around to the back runway? Please no. Please tell me no. Oh man, everybody's going to the back runway. Well, yep, even the ones that were over here have switched to the back runway. Well, that stinks. I don't know that we'll be able to get it over here. I didn't realize they were going to close this runway here in front of us. Obviously they haven't completely closed it, but I think they've got something going on over there possibly. Oh, they did. They put up the sign. I see it. So right there in the center of our screen. See it blinking now. And it is. The big X. So the runway is closed here in front of us. That means no MD-11 departure. We might be able to get it going over the center here, but we'll try. We'll try and see. We'll see what happens here. Again, they just shut the runway down in front of us, so perfect timing to end the show. They could have waited about 5 more minutes, unfortunately, though. Dang it. And, of course, it wouldn't be an episode of this show without, you guessed it, the fire truck. Dang, that really bothers me. All right, I don't believe we're going to be able to see the MD-11. What do you guys think? You think we should try? I don't know if I can shut my trunk enough without closing it all the way. I tend to leave the trunk open on the car. Don't want to break anything. I do have the equipment hanging in and out. So we'll let me pick up a cable here. We're gonna try to get you guys an MD-11 departure. I don't think it's gonna work. Just sorry about that. Unplugged our thing. Yeah, I don't have enough here. All right, you guys, that is going to do it for us, I think. Unfortunately, they are coming out to work on the runway, so we'll hang out right here with the fire truck. We'll see you guys again on Sunday. We'll be back. I apologize for the runway closure here. Not exactly sure what they're doing, but we go through this at least twice a year, so it is what it is. I think what it is they're doing the rubber cleanup on the runway there. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for the gifted memberships. Thank you guys for all of the support as always. Fantastic support from each and every one of you guys. Again, we'll be back on Wednesday. Man, I don't even know what day it is. We'll be back on Sunday. So we will see you on Sunday, probably 10 a.m. unless something changes, right? So thank you guys for watching today. Thank you for all the likes, of course. Have a great rest of your week. See you guys.